What if a school and its students ran a grocery store? Every Tuesday, a truck arrives with inventory for the Circle C market. So it's a busy day for the store's workers.
Benji and Wayne, I'm gonna have you guys bagging bread and breadsticks. And then Joe and Isaac, you guys are gonna work on putting frozen stuff away, just the frozen stuff. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, go team.
What makes this unusual? Students and their school, the Cody-Kilgore Consolidated District, run the Circle C. How did this happen in Cody? First, a little background. The village sits atop Cherry County, a sparsely populated chunk of Sandhills ranch land, bigger than the entire state of Connecticut. Just 170 people call Cody home. Not a prime location for any retail business. Cody's previous grocery store closed in the 1990s. More than a decade later, a couple teachers had an idea. Open a store that's a nonprofit business associated with the school. Aaron Heath was also involved in early planning.
For this to be viable, that was probably the best option, was to go ahead and fund it with some help with the community, some help from our local governments, and with the labor coming from the students.
Was there ever a point during the discussions where, people were saying, you want to do what?
Yeah, a lot.
In 2013, the idea became reality. The USDA and other groups helped with funding and planning. It took a few months and lots of volunteers, including students, to construct the building, which uniquely has walls filled with straw for insulation. A board comprised of people from the school, village, and broader community oversee the business.
That's really good for everybody to see what's going on, and they're all briefed on the same things. It's an open book.
And it also kind of keeps one or two people from really having a ton of influence over it, right?
Correct. So today we're going to cover the first objective, construct a chart of accounts for a service business organized as proprietorship.
Liz spends a lot of time here. She teaches business classes in a room that's part of the store she manages as its only non-student employee.
You're back there teaching accounting, and then you may have to come up and deal with an order or deal with a customer or help some students that are stocking, and then you go back and teach again.
Yeah, it's a lot of stop and go, and sometimes it's all a challenge, but at the same time, it's really good for the kids to see that, because not very often do you have a classroom inside of a working business.
In the middle of the class, if a customer comes in, the student can go out here and be like, hey, how's it going? Greet them, show them what they need, or ask them what they need. And you just can't replace hands-on experience.
10:33, would you like to round up?
Sure.
So I know all teachers are busy, you're busy, but my gosh, Liz?
Oh yeah, she never stops.
On the very bottom behind that prime rib. Nicely.
During the school day, students work in the store as part of different classes. Other times, like evenings and weekends, they're paid to work here. They do everything.
I am checking all of the labels here and seeing if they match up with what's on the shelf.
Stocking shelves. We're just packaging up all the breadsticks and just bread in general.
I'm just making sure that these boxes go with the right bags.
Why do you like working here?
Because it's just really fun. You get a lot of experience with customers and just how to do stuff and work at a store. You guys have a good day.
You too.
We thought we'd have a little fun with a new What If product. Let's see what they do with this.
What if?
Have a good evening. How are you? Good.
Kaylee's worked here with her mom for 5 years.
Tell me about working here at the store.
Honestly, it's been a really great opportunity. At first, I wasn't too sure about it because I was like, well, everybody works at the store and I don't really like to do what everybody else does. But no, it's been a really good icebreaker. This is where I learned how to count back money. I used to be very shy. Like 3 years ago, me doing this, like probably wouldn't have been asked. But no, definitely, it's been an icebreaker for me. Okay, who's together and who's not?
I'm buying all these guys.
Okay.
Kaylee's now student manager. She says that's helped her grow as a leader.
I've been a leader on the court. I've been a leader in the sports I've been in the classroom. But being a leader in the workplace is a lot different, a lot more liability.
About 200 kids, K through 12, attend Cody-Kilgore. Whether taking classes or working, almost all will be involved with the store at some point.
We have students that are interested in being in retail. We have students that are interested in starting their own businesses. And this gives them a great snapshot of looking at the numbers, looking at inventory, what stock, what's selling well, what's not selling well.
Real world experience and real world problem solving, right?
These kids, I don't even think realize how many skills they're gaining from just communication at the register when they're ringing up customers or communicating when those customers are coming in.
Bentley Jenkins worked in the store for several years, eventually serving as student manager, gaining leadership and communication skills she now uses as a bank customer service supervisor.
Here, if you have upset customers or upset employees, kind of knowing the right path that you need to direct them into and just kind of learning how to diffuse a situation. Just kind of learning how to navigate some of that stuff has been helpful, and knowing how to word things.
Who's excited about stocking groceries?
Got muscles? All right.
You think they would be by the beans? Or do you think they'd be by the soup?
Liz is getting young Cody-Kilgore students involved in the Circle C.
Open the door. Give it a good pull. It's just mainly so they can get excited and know how to do it.
Learn how to do it.
Yeah.
See how this is full, right? We keep everything else in the storage. We'll have to figure out what goes in each of those.
You see how these are kind of similar? There you go. Yeah.
And I think you have to grow them from small all the way up.
From the start, this wasn't viewed as a money-making venture.
Back in 2012, what we figured out is if we could get 200 or 300 families spending $50 a week there, we can make it run. It would break even at that point.
Now, Circle C does about $18,000 to $20,000 in sales each month, close to breaking even. There have been plenty of challenges along the way. One of the biggest, getting distributors to bring products to someplace so small, so remote. But it's working. A unique business model you might find a couple other places in the country that's serving the people who live here, because the next closest grocery store is 40 miles away.
Tell me how important this store is for the town and the area.
It's very crucial. Without the store, this area would be a food desert.
There's some of our community members that can't get to the grocery store easily. They can't get out, especially in the winter months when we get snow and ice and things like that.
It's a store that's become the identity of a town that calls itself Too Tough to Die.
And it's kind of funny, I go places and people know who we are and people know what we're doing and they've heard our story, and it's really, truly special.
When you think about the fact that a community the size of Cody could pull that off,
Yes.
what do you think of that?
I just think it's amazing, the community support and all those people who are willing to donate their time and their money. It's great. It's amazing.
I think it's a testament to us keeping our town alive and growing, and that we want this school and we want this community here for the next 100 years.
We started out when we opened the store with a 99-year lease on the ground, so we've got a little bit to go.
What's that put you at, 87 left or something like that?
Something like that.
Okay.
I would say that we're very tenacious people. Like, we're pretty tough. Like, we get it done. We persevere, like we push through. And I think that is true of any Sandhiller, really. That is at our heart of who we are. And I think that definitely speaks for these walls. It wouldn't be here if we didn't have that spirit of pushing through and making it happen.